My name's Chris Reeves. I'm a solicitor that specialises in advising home builders and renovators on their projects. I'll be talking about contracts. Contracts contain all the promises between the parties called obligations. So with a typical home building type of project, then the building contractor is going to promise to do the work, and the homeowner is going to promise to pay the contract price. But contract terms don't just have to be in writing, they can also be verbal. And the law also implies contract terms as well. But to avoid uncertainty over verbal contracts and those terms, then let's go for a contract in writing that contains the terms that are agreed between the parties. But to avoid uncertainty about that, then let's go for a standard form such as JCT, because those are tried and tested. Every home building and renovating project has extra work or changes, but the secret is to try and control the price when you do have changes. Otherwise, there's a lot of uncertainty about whether there's extra work in the first place and then what is it going to cost. So a good standard form of contract is going to include a mechanism that will firstly identify whether something that a contractor may say is extra is in fact an extra under the contract, or whether it should have been included. And then the contract will then give a mechanism for pricing that work. So the parties will then understand what the rules are about how that work is priced. In a typical JCT contract, which is one of the standard forms, then the contract will refer back to the priced specification. That will be the starting point for valuing that extra work. And if that fails, then we can just go for a fair and reasonable price. Unfortunately, some home building and renovating projects run on and on and on beyond the completion date that everyone should be working to. So how can we keep everyone focused on that key date? Well, first of all, sometimes the key date isn't important, but other times it's absolutely crucial. For instance, if you're moving out and renting somewhere while the work's being done. So go for a standard form of building contract, in one that contains a clear mechanism for identifying the commencement date, i.e. the date that the contractor starts, and the completion date, i.e. when the contractor is meant to finish. Because what then happens is that if the contractor goes beyond the completion date when he shouldn't have done, the contract will also then set out any compensation that's payable.